Like what? Like 15 billion or something like that?
No, it's actually expensive. But it's only
40 billion.
60
60.
billion. They increase.
Yeah,
By the way, the increase, by the way, is not like that was just like from one year to the next they increased it. And by the way, they do that as like a yearly thing to increase it by like about 80 billion every year. As an increase, not a maintenance.
Here's the thing though, with like, I've had plenty of family in the military, a lot of family in the military, and like all the things I hear about being in the military, how come the conditions for a soldier is still shit?
Yeah.
That aren't the deliberate training.
Well, yeah, because it's not for the veterans. The veterans are arguably the ones getting the most screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have to, because not only are we sending them to war where they could die, and then they then get like PTSD because they're dealing with war, and that's naturally traumatic. And then they will try to hold off on those benefits that they promise as hard as they can. Like I think I was talking to Cody like a year ago or whatever. I think before he actually moved to the Philippines, and he was talking about how they really try to clutch those college funding or healthcare things or whatever as hard as they can because they just don't want to pay any money to you.
And here's the thing that's shitty also. It's again, even veterans aside, that's an issue that's huge and can have its own section on its own. But the actual soldiers that are currently enlisted, their conditions can be pretty fucking shit.
Yes.
And that's aside from the actual training to toughen them up and all that, because they're going into combat, they have to go through hell physically, putting aside other mental shit that can be kind of the thing about being a soldier, but the physical training and all that is absolutely fucking ridiculous, and that makes sense. You have to be ridiculously in shape and ready and toughened up physically. But we're talking their accommodations and everything, come on guys. You guys are getting multi-billions and you can't give them reliable hot water.
Yeah, well, because it's not for the soldiers, it's for the contractors. So Raytheon, Boeing.
Oh, yeah. Also, another worrying thing, they recently lowered the physical standard, physical requirements and all that, and it's that could be dangerous. I'm all for getting, making sure that people are, anybody can serve, so to speak. We're not going to discriminate or anything, but lowering physical standards can literally put people's lives in danger.
Well, yeah, and more to the point, it's they don't need to. It's not like we don't need to make it easier to get into the military. Because here's the thing, we have plenty of people who are just we have a very pro-veteran culture in this country. That's why you always hear politicians talking about how pro-veteran they are, regardless of whether or not they actually are. And one of the side effects of having a culture like that is you always have people enlisting into the military of their own volition. Yeah, it's actually part of why we haven't needed a draft since Vietnam.
Yeah, no. And plus, the thing is though, the standards, a draft, if you're drafting, you're getting the bottom of the barrel of applicants who are.
Oh yeah, no, you're getting people who, by the nature of what a draft is, you're not getting people who want to be there.
Yeah, no. So it's we have a professional military, and that should be reflecting the effect of the standards of an individual soldier. But if you start lowering the expected standards, considering the standards everybody else had to be put in and everything, you could potentially put people, other soldiers' life in danger.
Prepare to fight for your life.
Because,
Swarm is approaching.
Not everybody's gonna be 180 pounds or something like that. You could have a fucking big corn-fed motherfucker who weighs 250, and if you lower the physical standards, and I get stuck with the guy who barely passed, and I'm a 250-pound, brick shithouse, and I get hit.
Yeah.
I want to be able to I want to know that the guy next to me can at least get me out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be a problem.
And that's the thing, aside from actually being in an actual war zone, if you're on you're just anywhere dangerous, and you want to make sure the people around you can reliably save you.
Yeah. And that's like... Yeah, it's a concerning level, and I don't even think that's the most concerning thing about what's happening with the military.
Yeah.
Because really, the most concerning thing is why are we in Afghanistan after 20 years? Why are we still in Iraq?
Still,
Why the hell did we need to bomb Syria again? Why are we trying to create war with Iran? Like, none of this is beneficial to the American people.
Yeah,
None of it.
It's still all pissing me off.
Mm-hmm.
It's like...
the wave is approaching you now. Keep it together.
It's like... I have so many family in the military, and I can respect any individual soldier. Even if they're complete assholes. Unless they're complete assholes, but that's a personal thing. But it's like, guys, take care of them. Get them out of there. Jesus.
Yeah, no, like, there's a very human cost to war, and our government doesn't care. Oh, God, I need help. Because I just fell.
Oh, shit, I just... Okay, I only have 32 rounds in my minigun left. Where are you at?
Been withdrawn.
Up here, wherever that is in relation to you. It's a bit above and to your right.
Yep.
Yeah. I was trying to avoid an attack, and I jumped right off the cliff, and I was like, fuck. But yeah.
Yeah, basically, it's our fault that we created a power vacuum in that area. But then we're just abusing the power vacuum ourselves.
Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely our fault. Well, by our fault, I mean the U.S. government's fault. Not me, the person, not you, the person. We're completely innocent of this.
Hell, we weren't even born when it happened.
No, like, we were, like... The Iraq War started in, what, 2003? We would have been in, like, what, 3rd grade?
We were in, like, kindergarten, or, yeah, like, grade school.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think maybe, yeah, I'm not even sure if we would have been in 3rd grade. We might have been, like, maybe 1st grade.
Like, 2001 happened when I was in, like, kindergarten.
No, I don't even think you would have been in kindergarten yet.
I would have been, like, 5 in 2001. Or
maybe.
Turning 5.
Maybe. Well, we're the same grade. I wasn't even...
Remember, I got held back in middle school 1 year.
Oh, that's right, you were held back. Man, this throws me off, because, like, we're really not that far in age.
Yep.
What is that? Okay,
Oh, yeah, no, it's a really... As I said, I joke about it, like, maybe do some war dogging, but
okay.
Specifically only for things like body armor or domestic things that they need, because I don't want to be giving munitions. It keeps some blood off your hands, and it's more of a, hey, protect our soldiers. But damn, it's expensive to get into that business, because it means once you take that contract, you are obligated to do everything in your power to do it. And it's crazy, you can actually go to a .gov website, and there's like contracts all over that son bitch.
Need a pump jack here.
Pump jack requested and is inbound.
Yeah, just so you know, every year, when they inevitably vote to increase the military budget in the U.S.,
Connect the pipelines to the
it's
pump
money
jack.
that
Can't
they...
carry anymore.
But there are tons of money that they're willing to throw at it, and they never question, like, they don't ask, like, how are we going to pay for this or anything like that. But anytime the question of whether or not we could get universal healthcare comes up, we're like, how are we going to pay for it? How are we going to pay for it? How are we going to pay for it?
There are developed nations that are way poorer than us. Way poorer. They don't even have nearly the tax income that we do.
Yeah.
And they still pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Here, I'm gonna see if I could do this.
Oh, let's put it this
Hell
way. As a member of a Native American tribe, and we have access to the government clinics, it's not much. They're not the best clinics, but it's something. And that's a start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, you know, like I mentioned earlier, they also could have, you know, done free college. They could, you know, they could pay off almost any form of debt if they wanted to, like student debt, medical debt, whatever. They could,
Yep.
You could fund direct cash payments to people, so like, you know, stimulus checks. Yep, you could do that. Some form of light UBI. Yeah, you could do that. If depending on how much you cut the military budget, of course, but you could do that.
And here's the thing, I remember but welfare people rich people abuse the system way more egregiously, and you just let them get away with it.
Well, that's part of why, like, a UBI would be very useful, because you're worried about rich people exploiting it? Okay, how do they exploit $1,000 a month or whatever?
And if you're worried about the poor people that are already, that are, quote-unquote, already abusing the welfare system, I mean, again, rich people abuse our systems all the time.
Well, if you're worried about poor people abusing the system, then maybe your priorities are wrong.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even like a mechanical thing at that point. That just might mean you're an asshole, if that's your concern.
Access provided.
It's like, yeah, like some person in a poor neighborhood living off of welfare for, getting like a few thousand a month, whatnot, whatever. But when you got fucking rich people defrauding the U.S., defrauding people for billions and billions of dollars, or getting out of billions of dollars of taxes, just because they have a really smart accountant, that's the real crime.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, you remember, like a year ago, or I don't even remember how long ago, like Trump's tax numbers came out, and people were like, "Wow, he paid so little," and like they were like mocking Trump about it, but it's like the problem here actually, ironically, it's not Trump. You're probably gonna need to build a zip line there. It's the actual tax system.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, look, rants are something I do. You can spam rant emoji or emote all you want at me. It doesn't stop me.
They'll be with you shortly.
Like, that's just something you need to expect from me.
Oh yeah, we all rant. Oh yeah, no, contracting is very dangerous because you don't have government support. I mean,
oh yeah, part of why the government loves the contractors is that they could dodge liability.
It's a big one, team.
Yep.
And they get their contractors to do some of the most fucked shit.
Yeah,
like,
we're not talking Blackwater. We're talking like people fulfilling orders, like for body armor, ammunition.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've listened to some stories of military contractors who were in charge of drone strikes that were, the types of drone strikes that are in public places, like weddings or whatever.
Yeah.
They love to get their contractors for that because they could dodge a lot of liability.
Yeah, they're like, the corporation did it, not us.
In fact, it's like, basically they'll tell their contractors, like, yeah, if you get in trouble, we're not going to bail you out. But they'll pay you like a crazy amount of money just to do it.
Yep.
Which is why they can do that.
Another dangerous thing about government contractors, or military contractors, like mercenaries.
Significantly diminished. Well
Let's say
done,
that they're
team.
mercenaries.
Yeah, they're the mercenaries. Absolutely. That's what a contractor is.
The problem with mercenaries is the more you fund them and the bigger they get, and the more well-trained they get because they have the funding to do that, you're giving more power to corporations because a corporation could hire mercenaries. And let's put it this way, the Central America is the way it is because of mercenaries hired by recruit companies. And that was in the frickin' 20th century.
Oh yeah, no, it's worth noting that, when the British were first getting into the colonialism game, they weren't using their navy, they were using private contractors. Those were privateers that had, that were exploring the Americas for them and colonizing and, like setting up, places like Jamestown and shit. Jamestown is not like this noble, colonizing story. It's like they went there because they wanted to grow a bunch of tobacco and sell it for money.
Yep, because tobacco is highly regulated where they were coming from, and they can make more money in the Americas. Oh yeah, basically MGS4 is that's basically the plot of MGS4. Corporations are making money off of private wars because now they have more power than most national militaries.
Did you use a pipeline just to dig a tunnel?
Possibly.
That's kind of brilliant, actually. I kind of admired that.